If, my bad, not if.
Oh, it's a hypothetical.
No, it's no hypothetical.
Hey, I got a treat for you today, dude. I got a treat for you today.
Oh my gosh. In your position of leadership, in
Southwest?
In your position of leadership, something goes wrong. Do you do what's right or what's easy?
At Southwest? Oh, all right, hold on. I got some clarifying questions real quick. So
no, he's not answering clarifications. You just got to give right or easy. I promise you.
But it's related to the question.
I know we all have the same thing. He's not giving it.
But is it A or B, or is C both?
This nigga's retarded.
Oh, so if we wasn't recording, I was about
to whoa, don't be scared.
Nigga's retarded, bro.
Glad I see who's in play more early. This
That's
week.
why. No, that's not right. That's not right.
That's not right. About you, actually.
Oh, okay.
You in rare form. I'm not. I don't expect much. I honestly don't expect much.
I understand. I'm always. That's crazy. You know, I came in with the right mindset today, and I feel.
Did you?
You was having a whole other conversation.
She called me.
Right
I'm supposed to ignore phone calls? That's what we do?
No.
I don't know. You choose.
You know. Scrub, you said what's right. Cool. Hop, you answering?
I answered.
What's right? Cool. Scrub?
Yo, I answered, didn't I?
No, you said it depends.
I want to hear his again.
First of all, you said it depends, which is
that's the easy route.
Depends are for old people. You're not old.
He said depends are for old people. Oh, you a funny guy.
That's true. That's true. I'm not laughing. I'm serious. Depends are for old people. You didn't know that?
I'm gonna do what's right.
He's trying to make it serious by saying it.
That's true. It is a serious statement.
I didn't say it wasn't serious, but
so you mean I'm trying to make it serious? It is serious
because he said it depends, and you gonna say it depends. There's nothing to do with old people.
No, I said depends. I said depends for old people.
You knew what he meant.
I don't know
Look
what
at this
means.
guy. He's gonna try to get a straight face.
But I'm in rare form.
This is what people do.
You know what, James? This must be the doppelganger. The other dude must still be outside.
Yo, can one of you two answer the question, please, so I can move on?
I just said I'm gonna do what's right.
I got both.
I'm
going with both for 1,000, Alex.
You going? All right. You ready?
You can't go with both. You can't go with easy and right. Well, I can't. So I can't be LeBron and a champion. I can't be LeBron and a champion. What if easy is wrong? So now we add layers to the question. You can't say Josh is adding layers. I just want to make sure we add layers so I know.
Please.
I got you.
I like Davon. See, I like Davon's question. I like that, Dave. Hey, Davon, we on the same page today, Bucko.
Can you mute Ricky Bobby, please? Can you please mute Ricky Bobby?
I'm on your side. That's crazy. Oh my God. I'll mute myself. That's crazy.
No. I'm gonna ask you first. I'm asking you first, so you can't unmute yourself. I'm gonna put me out there first. I can't hear you. I can read your lips, but I can't hear you. So I need you to unmute yourself. I'm gonna put me out there, working at that place, being security guard. I wasn't supposed to be in the front.
That's where we were.
I wasn't supposed to be in the front.
He wasn't supposed to be in the front.
No, I wasn't scheduled to be in the front.
For real, though. He was supposed to be in the back.
You do whatever they ask you to do. They asked you to be
not when I signed that application.
The schedule said I was supposed to be in the back.
Schedule's changed.
The schedule said I was supposed to be in the back. Joe over there got into an altercation in the front. They didn't want to handle the altercation accordingly and said it's easier to put them in the front. What would have been right, in my eyes, would have been to handle the situation. One thing led to another. I was fired. Was that right?
Nigga, you want to say something?
Or was it easy?
That's why I wasn't over here. I would have said something. What's wrong? I would have said something.
My bad, y'all.
Let's take our time, please.
Was it right on whose side?
On their side.
Yeah.
Not my side.
Great question, Davon. Great question.
Has nothing to do with me. I'm just
It has
a party.
nothing to do with you, but you just said you're gonna put yourself out there. I'm confused.
I'm a party, but it wasn't
You're
my
not a party. You're
decision to
John.
make.
You're John. You're not a party. You're not a party.
Are you saying, was it right or was it easy as far as them moving you, them firing you? Like
The
which
firing
portion?
part. The moving me,
This
the moving
man
me part,
put Batman.
the moving me part was the easy part. You did
Yes.
what was easy, not what was right. What was right would have been
That's
to
a
handle the
bad.
situation.
That's a bad scenario. I'm just gonna throw it out there. That's a bad scenario.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going around the room. Don't worry. You're next. I'll pull your situation in here. Don't worry. What?
Hey, I can care less. I can care less about that. So I'm not gonna have a good answer for it. I'm not gonna have a good answer. So when you say it's okay, when I say it, you mute me. That's great.
I don't even know what he's talking about. So, dude, you in that leadership position. You are the manager. You're the supervisor. You did what was easy the first time around. Now, after the fact, I'm caught doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, sure, whatever. Is it right to fire me or no? You said you would do what was right.
Both.
You can't say both. You said right.
I said both.
Chris did say both. He's lazy.
Okay. Hop, yo,
All right, I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna be for real.
Oh, you're gonna be for real now? Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be for real.
Hey?
I can't read your lips. You're talking too fast.
I mean, you gotta do. I mean, it's hard because
you're in leadership position.
No, it's
That's
hard
what it's
because
gonna take.
It's hard because, to be honest with you, I'm being for real. I'm being for real when I say it. It's hard because it's gonna be subjective either way.
How?
It just is. It just is. Because your situation, you can say it was easy, and you can say it was the right thing to do.
To move me
playing
up
devil's
front?
advocate. I mean, I need to move you. I mean, I need to move. I need to move you.
You put a schedule out.
Listen, I put a lot of schedules out at work, and if I need you somewhere else, I need you to go, bucko.
So what's the point of making a schedule?
So everybody knows what the preliminary plans is. If something changed.
Love you too, Ma.
On our emails, we put subject to change, so people know what time it is.
In that position, it really wasn't subject to change.
But I'm being for real, though.
Nobody else got switched because everybody else handled their business. Only reason I got switched is because he got into a situation.
It was normal. Yes, you're right. It was normally nobody got moved, but
so then it wasn't subject to change.
So it's hard, but it's still it's. I don't like that scenario. That one's stupid. But I think either way, it's. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Don't worry, I'll pull you in next.
No, because mine's even worse.
Why?
It's all subjective. What's easy? What's easy?
The easy part was moving him somewhere else versus the right part probably would have been firing him because he's somewhere he shouldn't be going.
The easy part, you moved me because you didn't want to do what was right, which is handle that situation.
I don't remember what happened. I ain't gonna be honest with you.
He got into an altercation with somebody in the front or something like that. And it was like, okay, we don't want to have it the way it was explained to me by the supervisor. I don't want to put him up front because he had a situation up front. So I'm gonna put him in the back where you're supposed to be, and I'm gonna put you up front, which is where he's supposed to be.
That's the wrong thing though. That's wrong.
That's easy.
As a supervisor. So okay, here we go.
That's what you're supposed to handle. That's the easy part of we just gonna swap. We ain't even gonna fight with it. I don't feel like doing paperwork.
But I'm confused at where the wrong or right comes into play though. Okay, it's easy.
It's not so much wrong or right as much as it is it's the easy route versus the right route. So it's not really wrong to say, hey, I'm moving you, but it's easy. You could have handled the situation up front. And, so if he was being rude to one of the ladies, you could have addressed that, made sure he knew better, and then had him continue on with his shift. Moving me to the back don't teach me to do right. It don't teach me to do what I'm supposed to do. It don't teach me to do my job. It don't teach me to mind my tongue. It just hides me. So to move me to the front, although you have the right and you have that as a back pocket option, it's not something that's ever done. That's not how things were done when we were there.
I mean, so now with me without me being devil's advocate, I mean, I agree with you. I'm with you, but
can't be
I don't like that
advocate in the leadership position.
I don't like that question because in leadership, I feel like unless it comes to moral integrity, I don't think there's a right or wrong leader, nor do I think there's a right or wrong decision unless it applies to someone being moral or their integrity. So in my point of view, you have leaders that are effective and you have people that are ineffective or less effective as the next person. So I don't like that scenario because it's like the right or wrong piece that you're asking in terms of are you going to make the right
wrong?
Okay, that's fine. I won't use it. The right decision that you're asking for, it's subjective in my opinion, unless it deals with somebody's integrity.
You as the decision.
But I'm answering the question. For me as a leader,
to me,
there's no right or wrong. There's
no
right decision unless it has to do with me, with my morals. If outside of that decision is based on my leadership style and how effective I feel like that decision is going to be to move whatever my goal is.
Okay.
So basically, Chris feel like I have the option to move you, so it's not wrong. It's not easy. It's just what I chose to do that I thought was best.
Cool. Batman.
Also being looked at in a right and wrong view and kind of in that sense.
Batman, Yosh, Hop.
I like how he stole my idea. You muted him.
Because for me, just for me, like as far as okay. So for me to just move you, but I haven't, like what James said, I haven't corrected none of your actions, what you said, what you did to the customer, any of that. It's just to make it easier, just to make it easy right now. Yo, just go to the back. I'm probably done with it. You go to the back. You come up here. Cool. So it's not necessarily right or wrong. It's really just, at least for me, it's easy.
That's a bad example.
I want you to both know
it's not a bad example because it's not really right or wrong. I'm gonna take the easy route, which is not the wrong route. It's just easier.
But I never used the word wrong. I never used the word wrong.
Yeah.
I said, are you gonna take the
right?
Or
the right thing to do would have been, yo, you can't be talking like that, you can't be acting like that, yada 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 yada. So I'm going to the back. Nah, you're not going to the back. I didn't say you go to the back. You're gonna stay up there. We're gonna need you to either fix whatever, or you could basically just go home for the day.
But I've heard that question before. Are you going to choose the right or the easy decision? And it's like, it's all subjective. That's a bad scenario anyways, though, because even saying that's the easy decision is subjective. Why is that the easy decision? Because to Josh's point, because I didn't have it. Because I didn't have a discussion with somebody, that's now because I just decided to switch. That's the easy decision.
So,
not necessarily. That's just what I chose to do at the time, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the easy one.
So, well, I'm not going there with you yet because these two haven't answered. Don't worry, I'll come back.
So, for me, I feel like out of the scenario you just gave, if I am in leadership, I feel like, and I know you're not asking right or wrong, but for me, and I never even thought about it like this until we just started talking, I feel like I messed up as a leader when I fired you. And I'm gonna tell you why. I understand you were asleep, you messed up, whatever the case is, but the guy before you, I gave a pass and moved. And since I can't move him again, because there's no other post, I just fire you. Where was my second chance? You see what I'm saying? So as the leader, I did to you what I should have did to the guy that messed up in the beginning. So I know you're not asking right and wrong, but to me, it seems like you took the easy way out all around. It's one thing if you would have fired the guy up front, like you messed up, you're out. And then it's like you messed up, you're out. But you let the guy who was up front mouth off to whoever and tell him, hey, just go on the back. Even though, Chris, with it's subjective, who's to say it's the easy route? Well, everyone knows in the back, you don't interact with no one. So why, if that's not the easy route, why did I just ship you to the back and move someone that I felt like is more presentable, carries itself better, and more people-oriented to the front? Because it's easy. I just hid you in the back. That's literally what I did. I put you where no one's going to see you. You can't mouth off to no one. You can't argue. You can't be disrespectful. I'm putting you back there where you ain't even really getting no trucks until the next morning, really. You're going to sit back there, and I'm going to leave him up here. And since you messed up, now I'm firing you. It's almost like a double standard for me. So as a leader, what I should have did was I should have handled both situations. But if I wasn't going to eliminate one person, then I shouldn't have eliminated the other. So that's how I feel. It was the easy way out, whether or not you was bothered or disturbed that you already dealt with someone not doing right, and now here's another one. I shouldn't have handled it like that.
But you're able to.
You're going.
That's
20,
that's
you're
scenario.
Going hindsight.
But that scenario, it's you're able to explain why that's the easy decision. But the question initially wasn't geared towards a specific scenario. It was just in general. So in general, I just don't like that question.
In
Whatever
general,
scenario
9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, what are you going to do? Are you going to do what's right, or are you going to do what's easy? In general, regardless of the situation, are you going to do what's right or what's easy? That was my question.
Those are that's like that psychology question of nature versus nurture. Like there's no.
Because you don't want to think, that's my fault?
No. I mean, both questions make you think, which is the reason for the questions. But both of those questions are such a conundrum that you're never going to come to a consensus agreement, or unless it depends on what your goal of asking the question is. So it goes further than just a question. So what's your goal of asking it, right? So are you asking it just to stir debate? Are you asking it because you really want to know? Because at the end of the day, for both of those questions, you're going to come to a conundrum because the answers for both of them are interchangeable, and they can both be subjective in both ways. So you have to ask yourself, okay, why am I asking this question? And then you can gain a better understanding of it. So that's why I say I don't like it, because I have a different viewpoint on it. But if you're just doing it just to stir debate, then okay, cool. But if it's because you're looking for a specific answer, you never gonna come to agreement.
But I'm not looking for, my bad. Oh, I'll come back. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your thought. And I really want to
That means be quiet. Let me mute myself. That means be quiet.
I don't want to go there without hearing his response as well.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why I said I'll come right back. Batman.
To Chris, this is an opinion-based question, so it's no right or wrong. To you, in that situation, once again, it's an opinion-based. So to the manager that was,
that's what subjective is, my guy.
It's not. You getting ready to talk about the manager. I don't want you to talk about the manager. I want you to talk about Batman being the manager in that slot. What is your decision?
How you gonna tell me? You want me to say if I was in that slot, was what he did right or wrong?
If you were in that slot, what decision would you make? The one that's right or the one that's easy?
I would make the right decision, which we went over the first question. So, but by you telling me now, put yourself in the manager's shoes, practically saying, oh, well, I did this on the job, or someone did this, so I got moved to the front, then I got fired. Was this right or wrong? Well, now you're telling me to put myself in that manager's shoes for if what he did was right or wrong, and that's all his opinion. Whether he was right or wrong, that's him. For me, no, you shouldn't have been fired. But that's me. For me, the right thing to do would have been to handle what happened with Buddy, and the whole situation wouldn't have been what it was. Now, yes, you wrongfully got, well, I wouldn't say wrongfully, but you got let go. Was it right? Subject to opinion. So,
okay. So, dude, my reason for asking the question is not to stir argument, debate. My reason for asking the question, in all honesty, and I don't think I've spoken to any one of y'all this week at all. If maybe I did speak to Yost, but it was for like 3 seconds, it felt like. And so we didn't go anywhere in depth to anything. But all week, in my studying and just in general, I kept playing in my mind, what is parental leadership? How does that look today? What does that sound like today? What does that feel like today? Every single day, I just kept hearing it. I kept playing it. Okay, with this decision, man, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? All right, now these are not my kids. These are my students, but still parental leadership. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to handle this? What would I want if I was their parent? What would I be expecting if I was their parent? Parental leadership. So the goal in me asking that specific question was not for the sake of, man, I want to start up an argument. I want to start up a debate. I want to see what kind of bogus answers they're going to give. No. It was more so, okay, I pray, I hope that we've all been considering, whether in our studies and or out of our studies, what our specific role of leadership looks like, sounds like, smells like, tastes like, whatever, feels like, all of the above. But what scenarios if we had the same scenario, how do we address it from different standpoints mentally, from different viewpoints of leadership? My parental leadership is not the same as Hop's foundational leadership. It's not the same as your transformational leadership. It's not the same as his knowledge leadership. Now, I mean, they shouldn't be the same. So how do we take this scenario, the same scenario, and address it from 5 different angles? How do we look at it? There's a right way, and we've all discussed. There's an easy button that is just is what it is today. It's a natural thing today. There's an easy button at hand. And so, okay, it's easy to do this. Sure, no thought at all. Let me have that. Cool, right? But is it the right thing to do? Or is it just the easy thing to do? And to me, my thought process, those are different. Did I answer your thought question, sir? Because I got another one for you.
So I mean, with you explaining it with context, I mean, it makes sense. So with the way you explain it, my answer would be the right. You would go with the right decision. Your second part to it, it's still difficult for me because you're still asking the question, if you're tasked with the same scenario, how would you respond? How I would respond in relation to your question, it's hard for me to answer it that way because I still don't think there's a
right or wrong.
No. I don't think there's a right or easy. It's kind of how Hop explained it to you. Like, it's just, as a leader, this is a decision I made. If you want to have a discussion and we can talk through it of why I made that decision, but it's what I made. So if you feel like it was an easy decision, okay, let's talk through that. So that's my thought process. But to answer your question in terms of how you came about thinking of it, I mean, you would go with the right decision. But it's hard for me to answer it for that scenario in the way that you asked it.
You want a different one?
I would love a different one.
You want okay, cool.
I want a different one.
Cool. Let me see how I should handle this.
You gonna bring up target?
I'm trying to debate on whether I should go with one of y'all, because I know different scenarios on y'all, or should I go with sports? I wanted to go with sports just to have some fun, but I'd rather be serious. So
do you want to go easy or do you want to go right?
Are you gonna play?
Man, I'm being serious. It'd be easy. It'd be easy to go with sports, so you wouldn't have to address. No,
okay. Copy.
Use me.
Copy. No, I'm not using you. So I've been trying to determine how for you, and I'm being honest. I've been trying to determine for you what situation to bring up. I have one for the other 3, right? I have one exactly that I know to use. For you, like I said, just trying to gauge which one. So here's what I'm gonna do. All right, dude, you want to answer this first, or you want me to just throw it out there?
Go ahead, I'll answer it.
All right, cool. So on the job, right? You're the supervisor still. You're in a leadership position. Now, the rules are the rules. Rules are not the customer's always right. That's not the rule.
I don't know who came up with that one.
Anyway, so however, the rule is address everybody with respect. Address everybody.
No, you chose the wrong one, Bucko.
As an individual, right? As a leader, as a supervisor, I overhear, find out that Jill went to Joanne. Jill went to Joanne and said X, Y, Z. Joanne didn't like it. Joanne in return decides, you know what? I'm about to lose it. Go off. And does so. In the process of Joanne going off on Jill. Now, Jill's just a regular worker. Both of them have the same titles, same responsibilities, so forth and so on. But don't move, girl. Jill decides, I went to Joanne, tell her how I feel. Joanne decides to go off on me and tell me how she feels. I then go back and tell the supervisor, hey, Joanne cursed me out. Joanne belittled me. Joanne, blah, 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 blah. As a supervisor, do you pull Joanne aside? Do you pull both of them in the same room? Or do you tell Jill, don't worry about it? Come on, thinker, Ricky, Bobby. Do you tell Jill, don't worry about it?
I need some, you're going to be upset at me, but I need some more context because because it's going to make sense when I say it. You're not going to like it, but it's going to make sense when I say it. It's going to make sense. As a supervisor, I wouldn't address that.
Supervisor, you don't
like I wouldn't like that's not my role to like that goes to human resources. Like that's
but she brought it to your plate though.
Because it involves somebody, you know. Well, first it involves somebody saying something that they shouldn't have said, and then it involves somebody doing something they shouldn't have done. I don't deal with that. That's not in my defined roles.
Even though she brought it to your plate.
Of course. Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So my responsibility there is to take that right to HR. That's my role. And then, hey.
Now I understand why he said easy.
Then, hey, that's my role. That's the expectation. That's what they asked of me. No. That's why I get paid on the 5th and the 20th.
Other scenario, then yo, let's take the HR.
Huh?
In the other scenario, that should have went to HR too.
Hey, I don't know how. Hey, I'm just telling you how it works. Now, if you want me to ask me from the HR's perspective, it's hard because I don't know what that process looks like.
You're a leader. So, you're the leader, not HR. I don't consider HR the leader.
So I was like being funny. I was being funny. So
really.
So I look at it from a smaller station because if you're in a smaller station, then the manager would deal with it. So that would be me. So let's say, I mean, we're just bringing them in the room and we need to talk about this, you know.
So you bring both of them in the room together.
Yep. Because that was a similar scenario that happened when I was in Midland. Only difference is nobody lost it. But I mean, it would depend on what degree they lost. Like, I mean, did she mollywop her or?
I didn't say anybody put hands on anybody.
Oh, I mean, we bring them in the room.
Bringing them in the room. Because you're going to iron this situation out.
Hey, listen, we all wrong.
The previous one, you was willing to just, I'll move here if I want to. Don't do it hot, my bad.
Bring everybody in the room.
Say both. He said both, easy and right.
We're going to bring them all. We're going to bring everybody in the room for the other scenario. We're going to bring everybody in the room.
Hop said don't. My bad. My bad.
I would bring them in the room, man. We talking about this.
Copy. Hop. Yosh. Batman, you alive?
Yeah.
Nah, he on Catwoman right now.
Do your thumbs up, Bucko. Come on.
They both got to go in the room, man.
Both got to go in the room, Hop?
Yeah.
Yoshi Doshi?
I agree.
Both of them go in the room. Batman?
They gotta sit down with each other because if you take one person or take what one person says, you don't get both sides. So they gotta sit down so they can get both sides.
Copy. I'll let this be the last one. So
Watch your face.
said watch my face.
Nah, measure.
To his little,
Oh.
he's talking to his
About his hand.
offspring.
Like, what did I do?
No.
Talking to his offspring.
Telling him you carry that the wrong way and it dropped. Watch your face.
So the duty on the job is to.
Please don't say deliver packages. I quit.
No. The duty on the job is to observe, to monitor, to make sure that the floor looks a certain way, that the floor remains a certain way, that the job scene remains just as is. Your title, your responsibility, your duty is, my bad, my responsibility, my duty is to make sure that the floor stays, that stays where it's supposed to stay, that stays where it's supposed to stay, that stays where it's supposed to stay. Nothing changes, right? If anything does move, it gets moved accordingly, but not moved because we're just going to throw stuff around. My job is to watch this, and if I see anything that I think is a little off or sketchy, I'm supposed to, identify it. I'm supposed to make everyone aware of it or make someone aware of it to the best of my ability. If I can, say something, report it.
See something, say something.
See something, say something. There you go. You learn it. Big brain. Yeah, big brain today. I like that.
Hey. Yeah, that's important.
That's important. Dude is in play mode early.
Bro, that's important. A lot of violence in this world. See something, say something.
See something, say something. I got it. Copy. However, I only have 2 strikes. We're not allowing me to get to a 3rd strike, right? 2 strikes. If I see something, I say something, but it's not really that, that's 1 strike. Right? So if I see something and I say something and it's right, cool. I did my job, pat on the back, I keep getting a check. If I see something, say something, but it's not what I thought it was, and I saw it wrong, my perception is bad, maybe, I don't know. I get a strike. After 2 strikes, because you don't want it to come to a 3rd strike, I'm gone. 1 strike comes, you come and sit me down. Mr. Myers, hey, listen, we know that you're doing your job. We thank you for doing your job. However, you got to be better at doing your job. When you see it, make sure it is what you see. Okay. But if I see it, that's what I'm seeing, right? So like I'm paying attention every single day. I'm seeing it. When I do right, you say, good job, Mr. Myers, So that means I'm doing a good job. But okay, cool. Here we go again, strike 2. Mr. Myers, we told you, to do your job, but you've been doing your job. But when you see it, it has to be that. You cannot let them walk off a mile before you say something. But if I can't let them walk a mile before I say something, that means I have to stop them immediately. But if I stop them and it's not that, then it's wrong. Strike 2 comes about. How do you handle the situation? My job is to make sure that no one removes anything that's supposed to be there. I'm watching all day to make sure nobody removes anything that's supposed to be there. But when I see somebody pick it up and they're looking like they're about to walk away, I'm supposed to say something. See something, say something. How do you handle my second chance? My second strike? Am I gone? You give me further tools to study by. You give me another chance. What is your role as the leadership or as the leader in this building? Rules are the rules. My job is the job.
I go first?
No. You went first last time. Because I don't really like your answers so far. They don't seem to match up with right or easy. You like to find gray areas. I don't like gray. I told you that before.
I told you, hey, it's not black and white. I tried to tell you that part too.
Not fond of gray.
On this one, I feel to give you either some additional training or materials to brush up on.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you, sir. Bless you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You know, I'm that kind of guy, you know?
Okay.
Stand up gentleman.
This situation, I feel like there should be like I said, I feel like there should be like some material or some like additional training. I feel like it should be something. Just
further training. Cool. So you didn't get enough. I didn't get enough training by you earlier on, even though you put me in this slot. Cool. Batman, yo, huh?
Explain? No, explain. Okay.
Oh, you had an explanation for that?
Well, the reason I say that is because no explanation. Just either or.
I tell y'all, I don't care for why, man. Why doesn't mean much to me.
He keeps saying that, man. I don't know why he keeps saying that.
All right. So for my sake, I'll say why.
Go ahead.
For my sake.
Yes,
so for my sake, the first one, we need you to be on it, but you got to make sure you're seeing what you're seeing. Cool, I got you. Hey, you can't let them get a mile. So you don't want me to hop right on them, but you don't want me to let them go a little bit. So now I'm in a gray area. What part do I be like, hey yo, I need you to follow me. I noticed you snatched that. Nah, man, I was just. So at that point, it's like, yo, okay, this is what I'm asking of you. I don't want you to snatch right away. And I don't want you to give them too much time, but what is exactly too much time? So at that point, it's like, all right, you know what? The first one, too early. The second one, too late. All right, let's get some additional training. At least for me, that's how, for this one, I feel like some additional training is either needed or to be discussed.
Batman, I don't want to hear Gray yet. We call him Mr. Gray. 50 Shades of Ricky Bobby over there. You always have some political, I'm gonna stay safe answer. I don't want to hear safe. You're a leader. That safe stuff is gonna have to change sooner or later, buddy. But he sees it.
James,
but you getting a kick out of this, yo. I don't know what's wrong with you today.
Golly, yo, it's
tough.
I mean,
what are y'all playing? Oh, Pac-Man?
To me,
yes, sir, Pac-Man.
The first one was too quick. Second one is too late. I'm assuming you was supposed to know what you were supposed to be doing when you got the job.
That means you're gone. That means, James, that means you're gone with James.
Follow the rules. That's the leader he is. Hey, these are the rules I set in place for you.
Yeah, so if I told you and you get hired and, you know, the first time, all right, man, you're supposed to make sure you seen him grab it. Don't just watch somebody with a bag and hurl them to the ground. Second time, you know, you seen him with a box and you let him walk out. I mean, I can understand certain instances, but to me, it almost seems like, now, if it's only the second one and the rules are, you know, I'm assuming 3 strikes you out, I got to suspend you.
Let's go with 2 strikes.
Oh, the rules are 2 strikes.
I'm just saying if the rules were 2 strikes. I said if the rules were 2 strikes.
Oh, if the rules were 2 strikes and you just messed up twice, I mean.
Gotta go.
Yeah, but that's considering I told you this is when you're supposed to catch them. It's not my fault that you just you over ante or you just too lenient. I told you what when to do it. Like, golly, man. Don't let the truck roll past, but don't let it sit out there either.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, okay. I'll take you now, Gray. Either you or Batman, whatever. Batman, you have an answer? I'm really concerned what's going on with you over there.
Batman.
He looked like he in a funk, like he in a daze, right? Like
his girlfriend broke up with him.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
If it's 2 strikes, you're gone. And I'm doing what's right, then you're gone after your 2nd strike. I don't got much to say.
Zay, you gotta know about God, you know.
Good point. Hey, Mr. Gray.
All of a sudden, Chris don't want the easy route now. That man, you're fired. You're fired.
50 Shades of Ricky Bobby.
He fired.
You know, I like Josh's answer. You know what I mean? You need some more training. That's what you need. You need some more training. I think that's because. So here's my thing. I like Josh. I'll go Josh's route. I want to explain a little bit. So here's the thing.
He doesn't care why. Don't waste your breath.
Yeah, but Josh got to explain why. I want to have my chance.
He wants equality.
Josh is a boss. Josh's new name is boss. You're not a boss.
So,
he wants equal opportunity. He's that.
Thank you. I want my same pay. Josh got a bando. I want a bando too. So, and this is what see. I like how dude said the gray hair because I feel like this fits right in. You know what I mean? Because
only your situations fit right in.
Because you have the policies. You know, 2 strikes. Yes, 2 strikes and you're out. However,
that sounds like but.
I said however though. However,
it sounds like but.
However,
that's what it is. It is but.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's a thing.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Too many times.
Oh shoot.
We view things in a silo. Too many times.
We're going with statistics now.
It's 2 strikes and you're out. It's last chance and there's more to the situation than what meets the eye a lot of times, right? So to James's point, if the scenario presents itself where it's the same thing 1 time, 2 time, and it seems like you're not getting it, okay, it's time for you to go. However, if I'm looking at it in its totality and I'm looking at it as, okay, you made a decision here, but there was some different facts around it that made it this way. And the 2nd time it was this, but it was a little bit different. So the 3rd time it may be another completely different situation. So that's why I thought
not going by the book, you're not right. You're not doing what's right. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, but as a leader,
but you're not. As a leader, you're expected to go by the book, right?
You had your chance. You yielded the rest of your time. You yielded the rest of your time. It's my time now.
I'm asking you a
You're
question.
being like Skip Bayless for Shannon Sharp. It's my turn now. You had your chance.
You a question.
You had your chance.
I have a question to you.
You can ask it when it's your turn again. It's my turn now.
It's my turn now. It's my turn
now. How? You just went.
It's my turn now. The green box is around me. The green box is around me.
That's because you're talking. How do you get to go? I didn't even get to finish my thought yet.
I
didn't even get to finish you finished your thought. You said that's all I have to say. That's it. Plain and simple. You're gone.
I have a new thought. To what you said.
But it's not your turn. It's my turn. Can I go? Can I finish my turn? Thank you. Jeez, please. Rudeness over here, right? So even as a leader, if I have as much autonomy to make a decision, then I should have as much autonomy to understand how the policy applies to that specific scenario. So if the policy says 2 and it's out, however, if the circumstances change for each one, I have as much autonomy to make the right decision in terms of how it should be addressed. To Josh's point, I feel like more training should be had because each scenario may be different. But to James's point, if it's the same thing over and over again, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have to show you to the door.
Why didn't you use that argument the first question when he was talking about what happened at the place he used to work?
Because it's a different scenario. You couldn't use it in.
That a different scenario. As a
but
manager,
you couldn't apply it. You couldn't apply to that one.
You got it. You
couldn't apply it.
You got it. Why are you still talking?
Hell.
What's wrong with the Jay? What's wrong with it? Hey, you want to talk about it? Hey, stop recording, dude. Stop recording, dude, so we can talk about this because he's going through something heavy. Hey, this is a safe space, my guy. We can talk through it. Y'all laughing. I'm being for real now. He ain't himself today. He got a little attitude today.
No, you being for real, but the way you
he acting like me when y'all was getting on me about the hypothetical.
Huh? What's the next question? E?
So,
a lot of time today, huh?
I'm reluctant to continue, only under the sense of like I said, I wanted, my goal was to get everybody. We good? Are we good? Are we good?
You just want some attention.
I mean, I'm sitting right here. Like,
he don't give her enough attention. That's the problem.
I want you to rubber belly.
So, all right, I'll do it this way. Like I said, my goal was to push, to urge, to whatever, to bring up the different leadership roles. In all honesty, and it's for each of you, dude. Yo, my bad, boss. Can you say that you ran boss through your head over and over in all, my bad, in most, some, or none of the situations this week?
At work?
In your everyday walk, your everyday life, period, and everything. Did you see it in your studying? Did you see it at work? Did you see it in your house? Did you think about it when you was reading and studying? Did you think about it while you was at work? Did you think about it when you was at your house? Did you think about it when you was driving down the street, going in the store to get whatever?
Just how to apply doing things?
About being a boss? Ricky Rose boss?
But it's not your turn. My bad. It's not your turn.
My bad.
That's what you just said.
Like in terms of, okay, I'm at work, they want me to do this. Let me look at it from a boss's standpoint.
Just in general, did you think about boss, or did you think about leadership and a boss? Period. Copy.
Yeah.
Foundational.
I mean, for me, it's I'm gonna go the easy way and just say no. Go the easy way.
So you're not gonna do what's right. You're gonna go the easy way.
He eyes got dumb big.
If that's how you just broke that down, that's fine with me. I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
He said, if that's how you broke it down, that's crazy.
I'm not gonna argue.
Nah, for real, though, huh? You didn't.
Let me tell you why. When you asked the question the last time, right? I didn't look at it as it's something new. Every area we chose, to me, it made sense already. It's stuff we're already
in the process of.
No, but it's already us. You know what I mean? If you go through and look at each individual, so for me, because I don't want to go in and point anyone. So just for me, when we started talking about it, and I never called you or anyone and discussed it, but if you look at, it's almost been our crippling plus our mission. So when I looked at, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, and you know, I already spoke to him, so he already knows how I feel about my time with him at the time, with B.o.B, Tutu. It didn't hit me when I first said it, but after we finished talking, that's what God had me doing, foundational work. And I did not know that at the time, nor did I know what I know now, nor am I the same person I was then now, where I feel like I'd have been able to reach. So to me, it was like, wow, God, you've been gearing us for these areas. We didn't even know it. So I don't purposely look for it. I just see it. So at my job, the people that I've introduced to Christ and speaking, foundational work. It's in everything I do. So to say I purposely sat down and was like, man, how does foundation? I didn't, because to me it's an everyday living type of ordeal.
But so
that's why I said,
for you, you've been doing it. So at this point, you're, I don't want to say accustomed
correcting the way. Yeah, because not accustomed, because I wasn't doing it right before, I guess.
But so then you're still focusing on it.
Yeah,
because you said you're correcting it. So you still are focusing it. Whether you're thinking about it, was you're purposefully, man, I have to, like you said, it's already, you understand that for you, it's embedded.
Yeah.
Who? 50 Shades of Ricky Bobby, Batman, knowledge, and you're transformational. I would really love for you to break that down to me all over again, because I'm even more confused.
Oh, come on, man.
Last week.
Oh my gosh, man. We already talked about it.
Hey.
Break it down again.
Nah, we good.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Ooh,
I'm just saying, because your answers, like,
again.
It feels like with your answers, it feels like you transform within your situations. Excuse me. So I guess that makes sense.
He does. Yes, he does.
It makes sense. Your transformational. Yes.
I just adapt.
That's transforming.
That's the word we call it.
Isn't that transforming when you adapt?
I don't know if it's a synonym or antonym. I'm not sure. I just adapt.
So
Josh, first of all, Josh, don't you do that.
College student, big brain, but you don't know what is synonym or an antonym.
Please get degrees, my guy.
Batman, you have an answer because he does it. I'm not sure that he does.
Batman's not feeling well today. He don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it? What you want us to do?
That's what we're here for. What do we think we're here for?
He got to want to talk about it. You just said he don't want to talk about it.
That's what we're here for.
You just said he does not want to talk about it.
Sometimes you don't have choices in life, you know?
Hey, listen, I told y'all last week, I want God to get you in that hole. Go ahead and be rebellious.
Mad selfish,
waiting on phone calls.
Mad selfish, bro.
That might be the reason I call y'all all week.
You feel some way.
Pick up the phone and say, you. Ooh,
just because you feel some way about something doesn't mean.
Let him be rebellious. What do you want me to do? I want it. I'm honest. I want it for all four of you. I want that hole. I want him to grab you in his loving arms.
That's fine. You told me.
Oh, change the subject. Cool. What
you told me to go away.
Go away.
I don't appreciate it.
He's still talking to someone else. I'm so confused.
Oh, no, I'm talking to you. You told me you waiting on Batman.
If you have an answer, then go ahead and answer. I mean, you might transform within your answer from now and 2 minutes from now. You might say, wait a minute, I have another answer. Let me go ahead and change it.
No, that was the other day when you asked me to pick 3 things. I wanted to change it. That was
transformational. That's what I call transformational. My bad. Adaptive. You have an answer, dude? Oh, you just gonna keep staring off at the sky.
What's the question? What was the question again?
Oh my God, yo!
I lost it. I ain't gonna lie, I lost it. I ain't gonna lie, I lost it.
Batman, you have an answer?
So, has it been on my mind? Yes. Throughout the week.
Oh, that's the question.
Oh, God, Joe, this nigga needs help. Has it been on my mind? Yes. Have I found I've been trying to learn more about it throughout the week. So that this nigga Yoshi needs help too. Yeah, that's really where I'm at with it. It's been on my head, and I've just been trying to learn more about it and seek more of it in my daily routine.
Hey, 50 Shades of Ricky Bobby. You have an answer now that you've heard the question,
for me,
for the fifth time.
Trying to think about this week.
I need you to get off a tour. It is really destroying you, Bucko. I don't like
this week.
You want to talk about it?
This week. You know,
your memory that bad?
You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it?
Not specifically. My mind's been kind of like elsewhere, you know.
Go here.
Just being honest. Honesty hour.
It's very evident.
Yeah, you know, I just nah. I mean, I'm at a place now where I'm like,
this is what mission prayer does, boy. I tell you. Do my best not to do that no more.
I don't know. I'm just. It didn't really. I mean, last session was great. You know, it was real good, but it just didn't.
What?
What are you talking about? What does that have to do with the question?
I mean, all I got is no. It didn't really. No, not really. Didn't. No.
I'm almost with Hop. Do we need to go tomorrow?
Why we need to go tomorrow? Because he was piggybacking off of what he gave us last week. That's why I said that. But
I asked you about this week, not about last week.
I know.
So how are you answering me about last week?
While I was thinking about this week, I thought about how great last week was, and then like, I did.
Yo, what is going on, yo? We went 2 weeks ago.
This week, that's probably why.
Why?
That's probably what it is, because I was ready. I was ready last
week.
That's probably why, because I was ready to go.
What is happening?
You were ready to go.
I was ready. I was ready. That's probably why I'm off my game. I was ready. But no, it didn't really cross my mind this week. No, it didn't. It didn't do it. It didn't.
I'm scared to go on, yo. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, we need to, because I have a hypothetical for you, just for you.
What?
Why?
You have a what? You have a what? Say that
It was
again.
only. It's just for as well. I mean, it's for everybody.
Just for
men. I did it for you though, because I know how much.
Is it in your notes? If it's not in your notes,
I mean, that is my note. Oh shoot!
You have a note, which is a question just for me, and I'm not the only one in here.
No, I mean, it was for you because it's a hypothetical, but it's for the group. No. It's for the group, but it's because of you. That's probably how I should say it. It's because of you, but it's like a tribute to you, but it's for the whole group.
I feel honored.
The fact that it's a hypothetical is what got me.
You still on hypothetical?
I mean, I only did that. I
period.
did that because it was for Ezra, because when I said I don't do it, and then he gave the examples, I just wanted to bring it back again.
I'm really concerned.
You shouldn't be.
I am. I'm very concerned. You are, I don't know where.
Oh my gosh.
And Batman over there,
in his feelings. He probably was hungry. He eating now. That's probably what it was.
So he'll be better. Yoshi ain't eat yet. Or he maybe did, and I just didn't realize.
Oh yeah, Yoshi usually be eating.
I was snacking on some Aunt Annie's pretzels and some
Oh, the munchies. The good old munchies. I guess we could go on. This is gonna be interesting.
We need to take a tenner.
I'm lost right now. I'm lost.
Or not.
But okay. Yeah, I'll apologize. I'll say it's on me. Tuesday morning, I didn't wake up till about 7 o'clock. I'll take that one. If that's what this is, then cool. I know tomorrow I definitely have to be up. Well, I got to get up earlier tomorrow anyway, so I'll be up. Anyway, I guess we could dive in then, fellas. Lord and Heavenly Father, we just thank you. Oh, God, we thank you for allowing us to gain knowledge, understanding, oh Lord, as we're learning about wisdom, as we're learning about leadership, as we're learning of you more and more each day, as we're learning about ourselves. God, we just take a moment to say thank you, to acknowledge you, to reverence you, oh Lord, to even appreciate just getting back on this session, getting back in this session after taking a couple of days off, to be able to laugh and joke, to be able to smile, to be able to commune one with another. As we get ready to dive into your word, into our notes, open up our minds, open up our eyes, our hearts, to see, to hear, to receive, to feel, to understand that what you're saying to us through your word. Whatever you would have to pull out that's not in our notes, God, we invite you in, we usher you in. Have your way in this session in Jesus' name. Well.
I'll go first.
No, you don't.
That is quiet.
Nah, I'm just looking at my notes, sir, one more time real quickly. Trying to get to the right page.
Wait, I'm just making sure.
Nah. It was a tough one at first to pull notes. I did have to do a couple takes. So my first point in 1 Kings 10 is verse 1. It says, the Queen of Sheba heard about Solomon's fame connected with the name of the Lord and came to test him with riddles. So I put, are you who they say you are? The things that people speak of you is determined by their personal, that's tough. The things that people speak of you is determined by their personal perception of you based on your demeanor first, and then your walk and your talk. See, people are good at putting on a front or a facade. They try to appear as different than what they truly are. This is why it's important to pay attention to actions. To pay attention to the actions of others, and even more so, be mindful of your own actions. The Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and how it was connected to the Lord, and decided she wanted proof for herself. People can talk a good game, but she determined she would give him some riddles to test the theory. Will you be fooled by the riddles of those who come around to test you? Will you sway or falter, or will you remain steadfast?
I like that.
And my other point is 7. It says, I didn't believe the report until I came and saw it.
You muffled.
But I didn't, verse 7 says, but I didn't believe the reports until I came and saw it with my own eyes. Indeed, I was not even told half. Your wisdom and prosperity far exceed the report I heard. So I just put, it was just something that I guess, thought about. And I put objects in a mirror may appear closer than they are. The situation looks different up close and personal. And that's my chapter 10.
I'll go ahead and go because
at first, they ain't even told it. That man said, "What?"
I got something just for Ezra. Well, it's for everybody, but
Is it my bad? Let me let you rock. Let you rock.
Okay. Oh. All right. So my only point for chapter 10 is a discussion. All right. So I put Devon proposed a hypothetical relating to the Breonna Taylor case, and I'll pose one for the group. So I put first, we see in chapter 10 the abundance of riches that King Solomon was blessed with. If you remember from chapter 3, verse 11 to 13, these riches were added upon King Solomon in addition to his request for wisdom. Not because he asked for the riches, but because it was something he did not ask for, God blessed him with it. As we will soon see, however, the riches came at a cost and the eventual downfall for King Solomon. So here's my question. Place yourself in Solomon's shoes in chapter 3 when he asked for wisdom. God comes back and he's like, it's done. But also I grant you what you didn't ask for, which was the subsequent riches. So the question is, would you guys have accepted the riches or would you have just taken the wisdom?
A real question.
Hey. Don't all go at once.
I don't do hypotheticals.
So
okay.
Hey, I'm gonna play.
Hold on. I got something for.
Special.
You about to play devil's advocate, E?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna play his game for $1.
Oh,
but I'm gonna play it his way.
Man, muted himself. That's crazy.
I'm gonna play your game for $1, but I'm gonna play it your way. So here's what I say to you. First of all, do you truly believe? You said it came with the price, right? That is what you said.
Let me see. Hold on. Stand by caller. Let me see.
Stand by caller.
This
well, a cost price. Sure. Why not?
A cost price. The riches that you're saying came with a price. Can you be a little bit more specific with that?
Oh crap. Well, all right. Hold on.
Those are deep.
Because I want to read.
Oh, you got some notes.
No, I want to read. I feel like it helps to read.
I need more context.
I got you.
Hey, I'm gonna play it his way.
I know this. 11 through 13. Oh, that is my way. I do like context. It helps understand.
I'm observing.
Chapter 3, MQ5. Okay. So we'll start with 9, right? So King Solomon was like, I'm sorry. My apologies. Chapter 3, verse 9. So Solomon is like, give me an understanding heart so that I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern this great people of yours? In verse 10, the Lord says, the Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for wisdom. So God replied, because you have asked for wisdom and govern my people with justice and have not asked for a long life or wealth or the death of your enemies, I will give you what you asked for. I will give you a wise and understanding heart, such as no one else has ever had or will have. I also give you what you did not ask for, riches and fame. So I put it came at a cost because the way I viewed it, so basically his downfall was the women, right? He married,
Hey, get off that, man. Get off that. Get your mouth off that.
That was his downfall, right? And I feel like that was a byproduct of the riches and fame. Like I don't necessarily believe he asked. So he was already going to be blessed if he follows these decrees and commandments. But the riches and the fame, I just think the women and stuff was a byproduct of that, right? So it's just like, it's like a rapper, you get all this money, the girls all over you, right? So I feel like if he would have just taken the wisdom,
he wouldn't have had the other.
He wouldn't.
I got one, Yosh.
He wouldn't have. That's why I posed the question, because I feel like, it's almost like a lot of times we ask those questions, or when we study other stuff in the Bible, it's like, okay, would this had happened if X, Y, Z did? And so would the downfall have happened either way? Probably, because that was how it was supposed to go. But I don't know, it just made me want to pose the question, because I think it's just a strong byproduct of it. Like it was just,
So not a generational curse, because his dad was a player.
Hey, get off for that.
Wait. I got you on that. I got you.
First of all,
I got you.
You want me to stop? We're in chapter 10, and this dude is taking us back to chapter 3.
I got you, though.
I got you,
though.
We ain't gonna go over notes from chapter 3. We
I
still
got
to get through these 3.
The reason. So I don't think it was generational curse, and the only reason why I say that is because I got you, Josh. I see your hand. Tuesday, I see your hand. I got you. I didn't forget about you. Because there's a couple. I feel like there's a couple of things you can attach it to, right? So one, God didn't take everything away from him until after he died, because of King David. It says in the words, because of your, faithfulness of King David, this is why I'll do this.
Copy.
But. And I have to get it to read the direct quote or the direct scripture, but I believe he even said in the word that because you didn't follow my decrees like King David, like Solomon just wasn't as faithful as King David. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, it could have been a generational curse, but he wasn't. He didn't do what he's supposed to do at all.
So then, how did that affect the money then, and the wealth and the riches?
Because that's why I said I don't think it's a direct. I just think it's a byproduct of it.
Oh well, then cool. Yes, I'm taking the riches.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Josh. You had a hand up for a while. Hey, thanks for being so patient.
No problem. I'm taking the riches only for one reason. Not for one reason only. I'm taking just for the simple fact none of this came about other than how verse 1 reads. Hey, I hear how wise this cat is. forget his money, forget all of that. I hear how wise he is. Because of how wise he is, I want to go see. Not because he's rich. He's wise. Hey, yo, you wise. I want to make a connection with you. How do I make a connection with you? Yo, take all these donkeys, these camels, this gold. Take all of this. Just as long as me and you can stay connected. So it's not really his money that people are after or that people want to be around him for. It's just for the simple fact the man is wise. She didn't go bother to see him because, yo, this nigga got bread. Hey, yo, I heard this nigga's wise as crap. And I want to go see personally. And while I'm at it, load up this gold, load that up, and load that up. And depending on how he answer my riddles, he's going to get this too. I answered the riddle correctly. Hey, you really are as wise as they say you are. You know what? It don't even serve you justice on how word is getting around town about you, my boy. You know what? I like you. All of this is yours. I'm going back to my hometown. So it really wasn't about the riches that he got is what attracted people to him. It was one of those things, it's a God-given thing, like the anointing. They can see a drip from your cuticles. Yo, what's going on? I want to be around you, baby. Nah, I need you to back up. It's not because of the money or nothing I got. It's because of something that's within me that was given by something that I can't obtain of a natural thing. It was given to me on a supernatural level. And now y'all all want to know what it is.
Okay. I'm with it.
Cheers.
So you ain't sleep. You tired?
I ain't sleep. I mean, my answer is simple. It's just, I'm taking the riches. I don't understand. I'm taking it. It's not even an explanation for it. I don't see God saying, I'm going to give you this to see if you will fail me. That's just not him. So I believe God genuinely was giving him the riches because his heart wasn't for riches. And because you have a heart for the people, I know if I bless you, it won't consume you. So
you guys don't feel
I'm
like
taking it.
So you guys don't feel like I think I'm
it's a byproduct or that it,
no. I think I'm dabbling into 11. I can't.
Yeah,
so you
stay
guys,
focused. Stay focused.
You guys don't feel. So you guys don't feel like. Let me see. Wait. Hold on.
You definitely dabble.
Because you're already walking on Hop's notes. This man told you and me stop talking. So I mean,
I'm about to sweet chin you if you keep it up.
Oh yeah. So wait, is that 12?
One of I can tell about one of the.
It don't matter. It's 11 or 12. Just stay off of it.
Yeah, it's 12. But it's related to the question. So I'm with that answer. Anyway. I'm with that.
You're gonna be rude. You're gonna be rude.
Hey, I'm with that response. I like the response, dude, and Josh. I'm with that. But with okay, so I'll ask it this way. So with what's their name?
I feel like you no longer.
So when the leaders spoke with when the leaders.
I feel like
Hold on, let me make sure.
Like you really riding right now.
Hey, Davon, go ahead and answer the question while I find this. Let me make sure I find this.
Make sure you stay in 10, please. I just feel like you moving.
He can't be in 10 if he's looking for it. It's not in 10. I'll tell you that.
It may be. Yo, Davon, go ahead and answer.
I gave you my answer already.
This man didn't even say nothing. He talking about he gave me his answer.
Told you I don't do hypotheticals.
Let me see. Okay. So
that was good enough for you?
So yeah, sure, why not? So did his riches and the fame that he received from God have anything to do with his taxation on the people of Israel? Because in chapter 12.
No.
Wait, it's correlated. It's correlated. It's correlated. It's correlated. Let me finish my thought. I'm not gonna remember if we wait so long.
Write it down. That's what notes are.
Forget about the chapters. Do you feel like no, not forget about the chapters, but forget I mentioned 12. I misspoke. I didn't mean to really say
you're in 12. You're in 12.
Hey, look.
I like how you kept your finger in there, though, man. You ain't slick, dog.
You're not in 10 anymore.
But do you feel like
you're not in 10 anymore?
Do you feel like okay?
Are you in
I'll
10?
just ask that question. Okay, I won't expound. But do you feel like his taxation on the people had anything to do with the rich and his fame? I'll leave it at that.
In chapter 10? In chapter 10?
Just in general.
You see taxation in chapter 10?
Oh my God. Everybody knows that already, though. Everybody knows that.
Everybody know what? Everybody know what? I'm
confused. Do you feel like his riches and fame had anything to do with his taxation on the people?
Taxation where? In what
on
chapter?
The people.
In what chapter are you referring to?
I'm just asking a question.
I mean, I didn't write it down, so I can't remember. Maybe you can remember what chapter it's in, because I personally.
It's in First Kings.
That's a whole chapter, Bucko. That's a whole.
The whole book. That ain't no whole chapter. That's a whole book.
It's in First King.
Next. Somebody else want to go, man?
That's crazy, man.
You in another chapter. Since we been told you're not doing that correlating
you
stuff.
Already asked the question. You answered the question. I just had another follow-up.
But it's about another chapter.
No, it's about his riches and fame. It's still related.
I'm gonna go. I got you. I'm gonna go.
That's crazy.
How are you asking a question about chapter 11, 12, and we're not even finished with chapter 10?
Because all that does is provide context for the question. It's not really about 12. It's still related to.
Your question was, will we take the riches? And for one reason,
you answered it, but it's really just from my understanding. I'm not trying to get more. Like you answered the question, but it's more from my understanding in terms of him receiving the riches and the fame, because I felt like his taxation on the people was a direct result of that. It wasn't just the wisdom. Like we saw the chapter after he received wisdom, like him apply it, but like the riches and the fame and how much gold he got, like we read about all the things that he received, like that's a byproduct of what God gave him.
So my answer is no.
Okay. Why not?
And I have it in my notes, so I can't go into that. And I'm serious. I have it in my notes. No, I'm being completely serious. My answer is in chapter 12. It's my only note for chapter 12.
It just made me think, like, I'm with James where he's like, I'm with him completely, because he's like, he knew that the riches and fame wasn't on his heart. But at the same time, it makes me wonder. I just know how I am as an individual, right? So it's like, is what I asked for enough? Like, do I need more? Even if God gives it to me, do I need more? Because I feel like as humans, it can always get to a point to where we lose focus on God. So even though the riches of fame wasn't in my heart and wisdom was, why couldn't wisdom just be enough? So that's why I said I put it in my point of view. It's just like, okay, if I ask for something, is that going to just be enough? Whether or not God decides to bless me more or not. It's like the overflow, right? Like bring all the tithes to the storehouse, and it's all that. But sometimes I feel like maybe I should be okay with just bringing all the ties of story. Don't overflow me.
So simple. You ready?
Because I know.
Good. You're gonna like this one.
Because I know.
I got you.
Because we're humans at the end of the day, right?
I got
so
you.
in the same context that God won't give you any more that you can bear, I feel like, maybe he shouldn't give you any more than what's enough at the same time, even though that's one of his promises. Does that make sense though? Like, am I making sense?
So I got you. I
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
I got you, right? So you prayed and asked God for one of two different positions, right? As far as job career goes, right?
Sure.
Sir? 50 Shades of Ricky Bobby?
Sure. Sure.
In either of those situations, if God did not put you in managerial position and just put you in worker bee position still, would that have been enough? Because you weren't, to my recollection.
I told myself that.
To my recollection, I don't remember or recall you asking God for a managerial position. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't recall.
I need a job, brother. I got to pay these bills.
Need a job. So a job would have been
I got to pay these bills, Buckup.
A job would have been enough.
I did. Yeah.
God said, son, I got you. Let me raise you a little bit real quick.
I mean, I'm with you.
Did you take it?
I didn't have a choice. They offered it to me, I didn't have a choice, man. It was right now, man.
You didn't want to be rude, huh? You didn't want to be rude.
Hey, we here. What did Martin say? We here, man. We here, man. We here. Because then I'm blocking my blessing. I'm blocking it now, man.
So then that's the same thing he would have been.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. That's the beauty of the text for me.
That's the same thing he
you saying, you asking, would it be enough? That's the difference in what you're saying of God giving it to you. That's totally different than what happened with Solomon. It's one thing for me to ask, like you said, it's one thing for you to ask and God give it to you. But the question, would it be enough, doesn't apply because he didn't ask God for the riches. So if something is in your heart that you want and you don't know if what you ask for you're gonna get enough of, and God says, son, Chris, you tell me what I could give to you, whatever you want, you're gonna go sky's the limit. You talking to the creator of the world. You're gonna go sky's the limit as far as you could think. So then it's not a question of, is it enough? I could get as much as I want right now. He gave me a black card with no limit. You know what I mean? So it's not a matter of how much can I get. It's a matter of how high can I think. And because I didn't even think for riches for myself, that's why I can give it. That's the beauty of what took place at that point.
I'm with it.
I'll go now.
10, 12. Jeez.
All right, cool. I'll go. So I got two notes. My first note is verse 1. I put, when I read this, I got that once we, as Bob, start being heard of what we're doing, there'll be those, or there will be people that will come to question and test us with both the typical questions and hard questions. Of course, this is a given. It's just what, once I read verse 1, this is like immediately what came to my head after I finished reading verse 1. And then my last note, I put the typical verse 7. I had not believed the report which I had heard until I came to see it for myself. I put, this is typical results of actions or the resolve of many, if not most people. They hear something about you or us or whatever the case may be, and immediately the course of action is, I have to see it for myself and test them to see if they're really what they say they are and if they are really real. This is also a reason of young adults now feeling how they feel when it comes to the church or to the Bible or even being a part. You have to be authentic in what you do Or in the old saying, you gotta walk the walk and talk the talk instead of just walking, just being able to do the walk and talk the talk, but you're not actually living it and it's not showing up in your everyday life. Then that's my 10.
I need to get on my points, dude.
Yeah, that's why we use like verse 1. I was like, what the heck? And then when you said the other one, I was like, yo, but I take it because
y'all both almost made me mad. Really, like y'all doing a lot today. I might want to go first all 3 chapters. Hey, school, it's done.
So
Leftovers.
I have 1 point. I put verse 1 through 9. I said, people will talk whether it's right or wrong. People will talk whether it's right or wrong. They will talk. You can't always believe what you hear. You have to see for yourself. On the other hand, you can't let what other people say about you affect you. If they don't take the time out to figure out
Lydia,
and they just go off of what they hear, then why should you waste your time caring about what they think when they don't really know who you are? And that's my 10.
Lydia.
First point for 10 is challenging. So I say, I find it amazing how quickly news travel. I mean, I thought it was just from growing up in the projects that if something happened this morning, by noon, the entire neighborhood knows exactly what's going on. Yet what I've come to realize is that my small-mindedness was way off because here I live down south and things are quite the same. Then what really gets me is now here we are studying the word and realize that this is something that happened even back in these times. Now, what is really interesting is how quickly people take the news and run with it as if it is golden or solidifies as true. The saying, I guess, Peter wrote it on a rock. You see it all around and especially on social media, and then we run with it and let that news lead us to arguments and fights amongst each other simply over something we heard. Yet I wonder why there's not many people who are out looking to challenge the news they hear. Even in social media, we fact check nothing. We read and or hear and go without truly knowing what is actually the situation. In life, we let people call us and tell us their problem and or their viewpoint on a matter or another individual, and we react to it as if what's said is accurate or true, and we challenge nothing and let it be so. Being transparent, this is something that used to aggravate me to the fullest. People who always tell a broken story so everyone feels for it and leave out the truth desiring to embellish themselves. And I used to feel like, how could one fall for such a thing without ever checking the facts? So when I read the very beginning of this chapter, it was astounding to see. Now, I'm not saying that Solomon was a scam, nor that he wasn't wise, but why not challenge it and check it for yourself? This way you know that you know. Jesus himself says to try me, challenge me, and see if I won't do what I said. The Queen of Sheba hears of this great man in Solomon and all of his profound wisdom and says, I got to go for myself to see if the news that travels is legit. She doesn't just go see, but she gets ready and goes to him to challenge Solomon to see if he is really wise as said or just over exaggerated by others. Don't be so quick to believe everything you hear, especially nowadays. My next point is examine your chase. As people, we spend a lot of time chasing things. We chase wealth, abundance, fame, and for some, even women and or men. Yet when I read verse 7, I understand that there must be an examining of what we chase. God knows our heart's desire, and I wholeheartedly believe his desire is to grant us the desires of our heart. However, if our desire for a thing is greater than the desire for him, then the thing will remain in delay. Now, the funny thing with God is that he has it already in store, and we won't receive it until there's a changing in us, and you cannot trick the mastermind. We can say with words all day that we're doing, but because he searches the heart, he sees our hidden truth. The Queen of Sheba says, after seeing for herself that the news going around compares nothing to what is actually going on there, which means his building and wealth and wisdom goes beyond the human capacity to express in depth. See, Solomon received in far greater abundance all the things which he did not request. If you don't thirst and chase it, then you can have it. Our chase must be for him and him alone, and those things which are minute in comparison would flow. Don't get hung up on the gifts when your creator is the author of the gift. He can give it in an instant what people spend a lifetime searching for. The true gift is to have him so close to you and long for his presence. That's the best of all. And my last point is kings beside the king. My God, verses 18 through 20 talks how Solomon had a large throne for himself made of ivory and overlaid with gold. Then how there were 6 steps with a lion on each step, with a lion on each side of each step, and then a lion on each side of the armrest of the chair. This was unlike any throne that any king had ever sat upon. Now the lion symbolizes strength and power, and so what Solomon was in fact showing was how under his leadership and the God-given wisdom he received, how Israel is in a position of great strength and power, and it is evident in the living in peace. They were not attacked, and for that matter, not even tried. Understand there were steps, elevation, which would make sense for such a king, and Solomon being one of the greatest of them all, with these lions symbolizing reign with power of God. Yet I would like to look at another view of this illustration given to us. For Jesus is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He is the power and strength of their entire tribe. They were always the ones in the middle, guarding and fighting the spiritual aspect as Israel fought the physical. Their strength and power to not only fight but be overcomers came through the empowerment of their God. So with this understanding, what I see is the king surrounding and protecting a king. See, the lions on each side of the step meant in order to get to the top where I am, you got to go through that which God has placed before me to keep me. His angels, he encamped round about me. Then if you manage to get through, there you will find another 2 lions, one on each side of me. Now, what's astounding is that I found out that typically they beat symbols of lions into the armrest. And so Solomon's design to have them on the side was different. Now, I don't know why for a fact, but my thought is because I am not ruling over and sitting with God as my arm resting on, but God guarding me and fighting on my behalf. So I put them on the side of me because he said, "Oh, I am with you always." And so as I walk, as I go up and down steps, you're beside me. And as I rest and sit, you're there with me. And so the enemy has no way of penetrating through because he is with me always. And that's my 10.
I almost socked you.
I don't understand why, but
I didn't.
Yeah, like I didn't look at it or even think, but yeah, I almost socked you. I liked it.
Yeah. I looked at the lions. I looked at them and I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't see it. Okay.
Yeah, like I was like, yo, okay, the lions. It's on both steps, it's on the rest, but I didn't.
Yeah, I just left it at that. I didn't see the rest. So cool.
Yeah. Well, now when I looked it up and seen that back then the kings normally had the lion beat into the armrest, that's when I was like, oh, there's got to be something. So then I went back and reread it and was like, okay, and went from there.
I like it. I want to sock you for it, but I like it. It's rather quiet, so we're moving to 11. All right, so my first note for chapter 11, I put nothing new on the sun.
What you eating?
I thought you was talking to me. I was about to say, munch. But yeah, so my first note for chapter 11 is nothing new under the sun, verses 1 through 4. I put Solomon loved many women. Let's just stop right here.
Oh, come on, dog.
Oh my goodness, yo. Yes, love. What the freak? Where is she? Oh, you're in here. Yeah. I'm good.
Where's Scuba Dabba Doodle?
Just heat it back up. Oh, what do you want me to do?
Don't put the fire.
I was just gonna use it for the meetings, but all right. So, all right, I'm back. So, my first note for chapter 11 is nothing new under the sun, verses 1 through 4. Solomon loved many women. Let's just stop right here. The same thing just continues to happen. There's nothing new under the sun, especially when it comes to sin. We fall into the same things that those of old faced, just some deeper than others, and now there are easier methods to fulfill the need that David had and that Solomon is now facing. Just like what E says, if one of us has faced something, then on some scale or the other, we have faced it ourselves and are facing it. I believe that in dialogue and conversations, being transparent and accountability can help those that may be dealing with it now find a way to deal with it before it gets too rooted and take a hold of you completely. Here we see Solomon begin to fall into the same issue that his father had with women, which leads on a path that takes him away from Yahweh. So as back to the end of my note, believing that conversations, dialogue, and being transparent and being open with those that are younger than us or those that are not in church, it helps them be able to solve and fight those issues and combat them in a more effective way. My second note, I just put verse, this is actually just something that I've seen. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I put verse 3. Crazy, this man had 1,000 women altogether, 300 princesses and 700 concubines. I put shaking my head. Although I know some would love to take it back to them because they would love to have this amount of women. I'm glad that anymore. I'm glad I just have one and don't have to deal with anyone else. And
don't nobody wish they had that dude. Trust me. Don't nobody wish they had.
I'm good with just one, yo. I'm good with just one. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody really want that.
The attitude, the fighting. You did what? Nah, I'm good. I'm happy with one.
I know some. Around, right?
Nah, she's out there. She's out there.
Okay, because the way you said it, like,
but it's like
I just deal with the one I got. Like, wow.
Yeah, I'm glad with this one. Like, having to deal with 1,000 periods. Come on now, like, come on, Sway. Come on.
Hey.
No, not that I just deal with the one I got. I can't take a second.
Yeah, like I can't.
Sanity, let alone 1,000.
I can't do the second one. Let alone another 999. I can't do the second one. I just can't. And then my last note is inevitable, verse 40.
Yeah.
I put he sought to kill Jeroboam. When I seen this, it took me back to when Saul tried to kill David. Of course, we all know that David was anointed to be the next king. Saul wasn't trying to hear it. Saul felt some type of way about David, and he tried to kill David not only once, but on several occasions. When something has already been agreed upon or set, and Yahweh has already established it, there's nothing that you can do or even attempt to try to do to stop it. Even in your mind, you believe if I can just eliminate this person, or if this person is supposed to be the person that's going to take my spot, or whatever the case may be, I can stop it or be able to hold on to this power if I just get rid of this person. However, even in that case, Yahweh always has a ram in the bush for every situation, which of course brings to mind that his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. And you thinking I'll kill him to stop him from taking my spot, he's already provided a way of escape and a way to get him out of your plan before you even start to put your plan into motion. It's inevitable. There's no way of stopping it. Once Yahweh has said it and established it, it is going to come to pass. Whether it's at that very moment or it'll be years down the line when you die and your lineage no longer be the ones that are in charge, he sets up somebody else. And that's my 11.
My question for 11 was
no.
Why wasn't the house burned?
Okay, go.
Got a question. Got your answer. I got your answer. It never was supposed to burn.
Huh?
It never was supposed to burn. But I went back and read it, and never in text said that he was gonna burn. Like, as far as I remember, I went back and read 9, I believe. I believe I read 8 and 9. Or where it was that basically he told Solomon, if as long as you do this, this is good. But if you step out of my ways and stop following me, I'm going to bring destruction to your house. At least in the text the version that I read, it didn't say it was going to burn it to a crisp. It did basically explain the destruction of what was going to happen, and people will look and be like, yo, this is the reason this happened to them. So at least in my version, it didn't say to a crisp. On top of, even if it didn't happen at that very moment, destruction, like at that moment where he stopped following, destruction befalling that house, befalling the house anyway. We don't believe we're shutting doors around here no more. There's your face.
So, I mean, to answer the same question, that's the same thing my text said. That the house, basically, if he doesn't keep his ordinances and commands, he'll strip everything from him. But I don't think, I'm not going to say I don't think. My text doesn't say that he would burn it down to a crisp.
But I don't think mine said that neither.
I thought so. I just read it. Mine didn't say it either. I thought it did, but.
Yeah, I misread that. My fault.
Good in the hood like some more bit. Do I got some more juice left in here? I do.
You going hard?
Sure. My first point for 11 is, huh? What you say, Hop?
I said, I know you didn't want nobody to step on no more of your notes, so, I figured
I appreciate.
Be nice.
Why not, baby? We need more like you.
We don't need no more like him. He is one of a kind.
Stupid.
My first point for 11 is you were taught. This is something that has stuck with me growing up and beginning to have my own family once my oldest child was born. I could look at this chapter and its beginning through the lens of the importance of training your child correctly. See, after all the praising and acknowledgement and fame, we see this chapter start out with Solomon and his love for foreign women. See, his father David was weak in the same area, and so through this lens, I would say that this is the problem in training incorrectly. David went astray after woman, and so of course Solomon struggles with the same enemy. This is why it's important to be sure to model the correct thing before your children, lest they follow in that same incorrect path. Then there's the understanding that no matter how strong, big, or wise or wealthy you may become as God's beloved, understand you do have a weakness. Trying to convince yourself you don't only makes it easier to fall astray. Yet what I fully understand is that regardless of what you were shown or what you may have learned, you were taught to a degree the right way. I thank God for my godfather, because my biological father was never there but for a few months. So when I became a father, yes, my godfather was always there, but not my father. So it could have been tough to begin the journey of parenthood, since I've never had a father in the home with me to teach me on ways to become one. Yet what happened to me is that I came to realize that I was actually still taught by my father. He taught me exactly how to be a good father by doing opposite of what he did. So I don't want to look through the lens of David's fault, but rather through the lens of Solomon. You should have learned because either way you were taught. David showed you what not to do because it's not worth it. Of all the women you could have desired, the ones that are not yours can't continue to try and place blame elsewhere because you were taught and could have chosen a better path. My next point is infiltrated the plan. We have been studying and researching the word for some time now, and what I've seen and realized is that up until this point, the enemy has infiltrated the plan and continues to use the same weapon to bring down the plan and or design. I sit back and wonder who will be the one to eradicate this generational curse or generational problem out of the bloodline. Man was created to lead and be the head, and ever since he slithered into the garden, the plan has been infiltrated, as we read in verses 6-9. It says how Solomon built these high places for foreign gods so that his wives may be able to worship there. It really makes one wonder about this hold that is placed on man, to behold the beauty of a woman who is in good spirits and happy. It must be something special enough to disregard the power and love of and for God. Solomon, you were created to lead and guide, and although you have aged, the assignment remains the same. Now it makes further sense that God is a jealous God and he just won't compete. And so he says, stay away. No need to compete for what's his already. Crazy enough is that the enemy still uses the same tactics against us even today as kings and leaders now. Don't let your side deter you from the head. And my last point is no post abandoned. Everyone, every last one of us has been given a post that we are to man, or if it's easier understood, a lane we were called to be in. What we cannot afford is to become so good at our lane and so perfected that we begin to feel we're solidified and that no one can take my place, and so start living any way we so desire. It's this kind of thinking that will lead us straight for trouble. See, Solomon was praised and rightly sought after and honored, and he himself knew he was wise. So when I read how he went astray and did what God told him not to do and turned his heart from the ways and commandments of God, it made me feel like Solomon failed to realize that God leaves no post abandoned. You may be great, but I will allow enemies to come your way and even raise up another to man your post. Don't let your own greatness be the cause of your fall. I do believe it's true that no one can do what he called you to do the way you can. But I also believe that if we won't fall in line, he will bring someone else to man the post I was at and allow them to do it in their own great way. He's too jealous to share you with some foreigner. And if you won't fully commit, then he'll fully remove you and your post will be manned by another. And that's my 11.
Hold on.
Yo.
Do you feel, you said in your notes, watch out. Watch out, man. Bugging, yo. Do you said in your notes you feel when you was talking about you said your father and then you said Solomon's father taught him what not to do.
Yeah.
I guess similar to, or not similar to, but I guess along the lines of Chris and his earlier hypothetical question, where he was trying to go with it. Do you feel like King David told him what not to do as far as women?
No. So, and that's the aspect I was talking about. But, and from the standpoint of, even though I didn't verbally tell you what not to do, you know that this was my struggle and this is what I went through. And it doesn't say that he told him it, but when I was writing my note, I just personally felt like, so for the best example for the Williams family, I wasn't alive when our elders in our family or the 16 LW went through some of their stuff, but the stories remain and we know them. So for me, it was like, you gotta know. Your father was too big of a deal for you not to know what he went through, for you not to know about your mom and who she was and things of that nature and how your father suffered didn't eat for, let's say 2 months because he was, God took your sibling from him. So for me, I just felt like you should know not to go after these foreign women and not to let women be a weakness, because your father struggled with the same issue and it didn't have a good turnout.
Copy.
All right, I'll go ahead and dabble.
I want my muscles.
My point for chapter 11 is examine your weakness. We operate in a day and age now where we are guided by the Holy Spirit. When I think of the Gospels, hold on one second. When I think of the Gospels, I admire how the disciples walked with Jesus, or when I hear the scripture in the Old Testament where it says, specifically, God told Solomon this, I often get jealous. Truth be told, very selfishly, I often wish God would just show up and speak to me as vividly as I imagine it would be as I study the Word. There are times when I feel that the Holy Spirit is speaking to me, and although it's not something, at least for me, that is audible, I know without a shadow of doubt it's from God. Reading chapter 11 is one of those times for me, however, because it deals with what John was talking about last week when he asked us to define what type of leadership we have seen thus far through chapter 10. I don't know if John asked this because he knew that through chapter 11 we would see the root cause of Solomon's downfall, or whether it was just given to him at that time. However, I feel it fitting that we all individually revisit what we answered when we gave. I feel it fitting that we all individually revisit what answer we gave, because we now have seen what happened to King Solomon. There are many avenues and ways to dissect chapter 11. There are a lot of things, but the main takeaway for me was to examine your weakness. We know that Solomon was given many things: wisdom, riches, material possessions. He was even given a promise from God that if he followed all the decrees, commandments, regulations, and laws written in the law of Moses, he would be successful in all that he does and wherever he goes. It's obvious that King Solomon had a great start to his reign, from building the temple and the palace to great fame and success, but it was his downfall to his weakness that eventually led God taking away his kingdom. Even still, though, God was merciful and kept his faithful promise to David and left the tribe to his son. The lesson for me is to identify and examine our own weakness. No matter the blessings, favor, or mercies of our Lord, we will always be sinners until we are called home. Until then, we need God in every aspect of our lives if we are to not only fulfill our purpose, but to live out our lives the way that God ultimately intends it to be. And that's my 11.
Thanks for not going too far in.
No, relax.
No, Hop tried, but he didn't go that way, so I appreciate him too. My first point for 11 is verses 2 and 3. So I put rib removed. Another situation in which the removed rib, aka woe man, has played an intricate role in some downfall of and or disconnect with God. Not to say that all women or women in itself are the cause of all man's downfalls or disconnections. Yet this is another situation. We read that Solomon was deeply attached in love with these women. Our rib, being a protection around our heart, meant our rib being a protection around our heart meant with a rib being removed, access to our love or heart was granted. Without love for our rib, our guard is let down or can be. Question is it our love for them, a weakness from losing a piece of us, a love or wish for what we believe we are missing, or something else? I'll ask that again. Is it our love for them? Is it a weakness from losing a piece of us? Is it a love or wish for what we believe we are missing? Or is it something else that causes us to give way, I'll say? Because we're supposed to be the leader. Yet I can speak for myself. I give way. In situations, I give way. Although I know I'm supposed to be
say give way. Like when you say give
man. Oh man.
Come on, Josh. Come on.
Hey, you know how you said, I know I can only handle one. I don't want to deal with another one.
Yeah.
And you gave certain situations, like the fight. When that fight comes, there's often times where you go, you know what, man? I don't got a white one. I don't got a white one.
Boy.
But
hey, boy,
I'm going to give way to this situation.
Hey, sometimes you got to fold them, baby.
I don't got a white one, but I give way to some situations. That's what I'm talking about. So, again, is it our love for them? A weakness because we've lost something? A piece of us? Is it our love or wish for what we believe we are missing, or something else?
I mean, probably that last one.
I wish I could.
Oh, it wasn't for me?
No, it's not that it wasn't for you. I just wish I could reach through the screen, and when I reach through,
no, not the other one, not something else. The last one before something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A love or wish for what we believe we are missing.
Sure.
Speaking for me, just when I was talking to a bunch of females, that was.
Hey, Josh was out there, dog. In the streets.
I guess you could say that. Or something I felt like I was missing.
For giving way. I'm talking about forgiving way.
Oh.
I'm not just so all right. I'll put context in it.
Hey, my guy.
So I guess back to Adam, right? I look back to Adam. Adam, you knew the law, you knew the rule, you knew God's voice, you knew what he said. You understood it. Yet you gave way to what Chris wants to believe, or at least what he posed about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Say it.
That little snippet of a sermon.
Oh my gosh.
I'll side with you. Maybe he believed he was missing something. I'm not saying that's the case, but in the sake of what you're saying, I'll side with that thought for the sake of this conversation to give context. Maybe he thought he was missing something, right? Something that was taken from him. Man, it's something that I'm missing. I know I'm missing something because it's a rib gone, right? But my alter self, the other part of me, misses something out there. And so I give way to this thought. And maybe that does play into what you just said, yo, it's cool, right? So that's that theory. The weakness from losing a piece man, I can't make up my. I can't be as strong as I would like to be because I'm missing a side. I'm missing an element there. Right? So I can't be as strong as I would like to be because I'm missing an element. That element is my rib, right? Or is it just, man, I love her so much. I want her to be happy. I put her before me. I put her happiness before mine, and I'm willing to give way. Or is it something else? You could look at Adam and Eve. You could look at Samson and Delilah. You could look at a plethora of. You could look at David. You could look at Solomon now. What's and granted, sure, we could say, oh, each situation is different. You know, it's subjective.
Nah, I mean, I won't go that far on this one. I mean, I feel like.
Wow, growth. Go ahead, God.
I mean, I feel like it's something.
You feel like it's the power of Pandora's box, Chris? Power of the sweet pink canoe? Don't want to talk about it?
Yeah, I look at, you know,
hey, stand
it
by,
reminds
caller.
me. No. It reminds me. It reminds me in Sagebrush when we would go over. There was just one particular study we would go over, and it was believing the lie, right? So for me, it's your last point in terms of something's missing, but to me that's belief. It's to me that's the lie to believe that for us to believe that something's missing, even though
something's missing though. Something is missing, right? If I take something from you, is it missing, or is it still in your possession?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel, but I made you full. I took something, but I made you full in the process, right? But
hey, don't worry, she's on the way.
I mean,
let's see how much you want to turn down your plate when you think you're full. How about that? Let's see how much you turn down your plate.
I mean,
you say you full. Don't I got you. Remember these words. You full. You're gonna want to throw up.
Wait.
You're gonna want to regurgitate a couple of times because
you can always have more though. That's I'm full, but I can eat. I can eat. I can eat. But that's like.
Where are you, Hop?
But that's like.
You, hey, Hop, you all right?
Listening to this garbage.
But that's going too far. But I know that's going too far. Like it's. But that's why it has to be the missing piece, because we feel like there's something missing, even though our stomach tells us it's full, but our eyes tell us, I could still. Maybe I got some room left. Maybe, even though we know, I mean, it's tough. I mean,
what you saying? You done ate a steak. You done ate a steak, fries, and a cinnamon biscuit. Hey, you want some dessert? I can eat a slice of cheesecake. You know what I mean?
And we know we don't need it. And we know we don't need it. And we know we don't need it.
Hey, my God. She's more than a handful. She's more than 2 handfuls. She's a headache full. How about that?
I mean,
no, it's not.
Now, you want to know something crazy though? For real? Like, all jokes aside, I don't even know if Hop realized how serious that question was before we started. And I realized how important it was for him to give it before we started studying. Do you do it right or easy?
Oh.
Because what we continuously see happen is the dudes are taking what's easy.
Easy.
It's easier to it's easier to let Eve bite the fruit and see what happened to her first. And then I'll figure out next. It's easier for me to see Bathsheba and instead of walk away, just take what I want because I'm the king. It's easier, instead of turning my eye to these foreign women and saying, hey, man, I got to follow God, just to give in. It's easier to do these things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I mean,
dude, he be throwing them curves dead down your
alley. Hop is right, but I think that speaks to sin in general, though. It's easier to just.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the question correlated so much to where we discussing right now.
I'm like I said, that's when I read it. I'm like, I don't know, and I still want the rest of you to answer, but my thought was, man, another situation where these dudes are falling.
But it's different for you guys a little bit though, because
he threw that
because she's a headache full.
Being Davon out here in these streets.
Because she's a headache full. Don't worry. I'm
just saying it's a little different. That's all I'm saying.
And what?
I'm not even gonna say it's a change up because he don't throw change up. It's the same throw, just place.
What are you talking about? What's going on with the fellas, dude?
Yeah, like it's the same throw, just change.
I don't think it's a curveball.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not a curveball. It's not a change up.
It's the same throw.
It's not a slider. It's the
God
same
is waiting
fastball.
for the right guy to knock it out the park.
Yeah, it's the same fastball.
You got to keep circling the same diamond place until someone. Yeah,
it's the same daggone melon.
Changes it.
He's painting corners.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Like,
all of them, all of them are facing the same exact situation. Now,
that's
the details may be different, but it's still a matter of, are you going to stand up?
And that's why I said it's not a changeup. It's not a slider because the slider is going to come at you and then go down. So it's not a slider, but it's more like a fastball. It's the same fastball, just
he's just paying corners.
For whatever reason, your eyes just like not catching. Like your eyes just not catching the throw.
Right.
With that said,
like Mr. 3000, dude, he was the only person that peeped the pitcher was giving away his throw. Everybody else was like, he's throwing it. Mr. 3000, Bernie was the only person who was like, yo, he's been in the league this long. He's tipping his throw. How's nobody picked up on it? Everybody else just looking at it like, yo, this is a man that's pitching. Bernie Mac looked at it, and that nigga tuck his elbow in, and then when he tuck it in, this is the throw he's throwing.
If he throw another curveball, I'm gonna slap this. Nah, but for me, Hop, I'm gonna have to go with it's almost like it's almost like the love of the woman.
I love her so much.
But I also feel like it's a combination. So I feel like this is
cheating me, dude.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you why, yo. Because as your rib, right? As your rib, when you get married, they say you're now one.
Yeah.
You become one. You're a complete individual. So
you siding with that dude then? That I'm full.
When you see it, and
don't get slapped.
For me, it's like
choose your words wisely.
It's like
I know she's right
there. It has to be. Nah, listen, man. Listen, baby. Everybody know. Make me mad, I throw these, baby. I don't they ain't got to be like that, baby. I feel like with each and every last one of them, because it wasn't like they were sitting there like, damn, something about me is missing. Like it was, this is my side. This is what completes me. This is a part of me. And they just watched in awe of the woman. That's why I say it's like it's something about the beauty of a woman and her happiness that makes you just, hey, you go ahead, baby. If that's what you want to do, you do it. You know what I mean? I'm behind you. You were called the lead. No, it's all right. Look at her just shining in the light. So it's like you get so wrapped up in that beauty that you disregard his beauty. And in disregarding his beauty, everyone gets punished, and now everyone looks ugly.
So then that's not a combo. That's the love for her then.
I mean, I guess so. You can go with.
To me, you're not going with a weakness from losing something. You're not going with, man, I'm missing something. You're just saying, man, her beauty is so astounding.
Yeah, because I don't think
I love her that much.
Like, she's mine.
Go ahead and
that's
shine.
a part of me, and she just
Get
like, I
your
can't think of anything else why Adam would have just sat there while the snake was talking. You must have been in so much awe of your woman doing something like this. Like, wow, look at her go. Like, I don't know.
That man said, go get your Rihanna on. Shine bright like diamond.
Batman, thoughts? Thoughts?
I'm gonna have to agree with dude. The love for her. Just because it really was like we just talking about each of them, all the way from even back to your question, easy or right. All of them faced it from Adam all the way up to Solomon. They all faced some type of womanly challenges. Even back to Buddy that we talked about, where it was like, yo, kill all the leaders. And you decide to bring Shorty that you know you're not even supposed to be with.
Back to the camp.
I don't did
everybody do that. You clapping when everybody do that.
He brought her to the temple, dog.
Temple door, my boy. Like, yo, Shorty's it. That's it.
You brought her where old boy was ready to slay something, was lounging. He get a cup of a sip of water, like I done killed all these people.
And it's
Shorty, Shorty is right.
That man said, wait 1 minute. I'll tell you how good she looks. Man.
You ain't heard one scream. You ain't realized all these people is missing. Nothing. Just, hey, I'm gonna introduce you to the family. Ma, Pop, wait, time out.
Why you running like that?
Why you coming? What? Hey, you gotta stay here. I'm going. Not even gonna say nothing to her. Just straight. And still get caught with the spin.
I know he left her. He ran and left her to die.
He left her. Wasn't no.
Hey, you ain't gotta. Hey, listen, you ain't gotta be the fastest person. All right?
That man seen him rise up and hand me the sport.
Be fast and slow.
Just get ahead.
The red light, green light.
I'm out here. But it's like, it's just something about the love for her. It just
out of control.
Yeah, it's just it's so good, it's bad.
That gift and the curse.
The love for her is good that it's bad. Like it's so good to the point that you sometimes got to check yourself and make sure that you're still in right standing and right alignment.
Not
because sometimes you could.
Sometimes you could put your paws on, you know what I mean, and tell yourself that it's not a female that you're talking to anymore, or you looking at. Yeah. Oh.
Put the gloves on right quick. Just put the gloves on.
I don't even need the gloves. Sometimes the way I feel, it's like I don't even need these. We could shoot the fair one right now. Shoot it right now. Let's go.
Get a quick 30 seconds in. Just
it's not even gonna last the whole round. Nah.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not getting
trying to Mike Tyson.
32
seconds out of the 12 rounds. No money back. No refunds, nigga. You paid for this.
Yes.
Freak that.
You stepped in the ring, knowing the deal. Let's get it.
Yeah.
We can get it in off. Wait till I go. Me and you.
See, that's the sad part. They talk a good game too. Like we can fight. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You don't want this smoke. No, you don't. You act tough because you know I'm not gonna swing on you for real. But one of these days.
See, that's why I switched the game up. I throw a stiff jab followed by a headbutt. I straighten everything out. Boom, bang. What the freak you talking? jab followed with a headbutt, baby. It works every time.
Dude, awful.
Yo, I'm just trying to tell you, man.
Hey, like I said, I'm with you, yo.
That's why I crack my neck every day, just in case I got throw headbutt. Don't want to get a stiff neck. I'll tell you right now.
For you.
Just throw one soon.
My next point is 9 through 13. I put, as I said I would, God made a promise to King David that he carried out with Solomon. He gave that same promise to Solomon. Although Solomon didn't hold up his end of the bargain, God was still faithful to King David. When you give someone your word, do your best to keep your word. Don't only do this as a man, do this as a leader, so that those who follow after you and or watch you would know it is important that they also keep their word. And then my last point was a question. I couldn't find it. Maybe I overlooked it. But what about the 12 piece? The cloak that was ripped into 12 pieces, one for Solomon's son, because of the Lord and the promise to King David, 10 for Jeroboam, which is 11. But what about the 12 piece? Who did that go to?
I think that ends up with Solomon.
He kept a piece, even though he was dying. His time was getting ready to come to a close. He wasn't gonna have the
not Solomon, his son. Solomon's son.
That was one piece. That was Jeroboam, right?
No, Jeroboam gets 10.
No, Jeroboam is his brother.
Yeah, Jeroboam gets 10. Solomon's son, because both I think it's Judah and Benjamin.
It was one for Solomon's son, 10 for Jeroboam. That's 11.
Yeah.
But it said he ripped his cloak into 12 pieces. Where did the 12 pieces go? Why not just rip it into 11 pieces? That was my thought process.
Okay, so what I'm thinking of is chapter 12.
Don't do what Chris did.
No, I'm not. That's why I stopped. I said what I'm thinking of is chapter 12.
Stay home for a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in 11. That for the 12th one, I'm up in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, it said he ripped his.
Because I remember him ripping it, and 10, of course, only one stays with Solomon's son.
And then 12
because of the promise.
And then 10 goes to Jeroboam because he's going in next.
And then the other one is.
It never said it.
Yeah.
It said in verse. Well, you really losing. 30. Then Ahijah took hold of the new cloak he had on, tore it in 12 pieces, and said to Jeroboam, take 10 pieces for yourself, for this is what the Lord God of Israel says, I am about to tear the kingdom out of Solomon's hand. I will give you 10 tribes, but one tribe will remain his for the sake of my servant David, and for the sake of Jerusalem, the city I chose out of all the tribes of Israel. That one was going to his son. Where did the 12 piece of cloak go? What was that for? And I couldn't find it.
No, I
Freedom? I'm the wrong one on? I don't know.
Yo, bro, I would take the kingdom. 10 I will give one tribe. He's gonna take the kingdom, give 10 tribes, to his son 1 tribe, and you I will take, and you shall reign over all your soul desires.
take to yourself 10 pieces. Mm.
Yo, yeah.
Pass the top piece to the roll.
Terribly.
Mm-hmm. So let's search it. Let's see what's he could take one to if he gets 10 to 12 on carry symbol. That means we're going to carry 10 charges. So one child with a man will rule the house of David.
So I see Benjamin will receive 1 because he sides with Judah, but I don't.
You said Benjamin receives 1?
Benjamin will receive the 12 because he sides with Judah or something like that. When they go in, but that's in chapter 12.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because
yeah,
that happens, but both, and that's why I said I was thinking in 12, because both.
So it's Solomon.
Both Benjamin and Judah end up with
That
Solomon's son.
yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think he technically ends up with 2, because both of them go with him. The other 10 are with Jeroboam.
Yeah, one of the 2 belonged to his son, and the last one was wherever Solomon took it, which was Benjamin.
All right. Well, that's my 11.
Over there on the floor. On this book.
12 for quiet tonight. I'll go to 12.
I was about to, but I didn't think anybody would allow me to. You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be something. So.
All right. So I got 2 points for 12. My first point, I put the wise counsel.
All right, you good?
Wow. I can't.
That is perfect. That is so perfect.
I can't be great. Can't let me
that
be
was
great.
That was beyond great as far as I'm concerned.
It's just a title. It's just a title. I leave room. I always leave room. I'm never on point with you and James. Sometimes.
You've hit every point that I've said already. So I don't know.
I took it another direction. I was going straight and then I turned left. You went right.
Copy. We'll see.
So I put the wise counsel, verse 6 and 7. Rehoboam is faith with the request to lighten the labor, and because he didn't know or want to make a quick / hasty decision, he went to the men that served his father Solomon, which is a group of men that Solomon selected and surrounded himself with. For this reason, I named this the wise counsel. I can't help but think that if these men were handpicked by my father and have served my father for many years, and my father was the wisest man there was among kings for many years, then they must have picked up some form of wisdom from him. When you have a wise counsel, it is always a great starting point or a point of reference for the best possible advice when you're in search of an answer, or you're in need to be able to, when you're in thought, needing to make a decision, that you could always resort to the wise counsel to be sure enough to get the wisest and the best answer for the outcome that you're looking for. My second note is verses 21 through 24. I didn't title it, However, I put something simple, which if it was so simple, everyone would do it. However, Rehoboam gathered Judah and Benjamin so he can fight to regain his kingship. But Yahweh speaks through the man of God, and he tells them, return to your homes because this was my doing. His obedience averted the possibility or certainty of death. Part of me wondered why Yahweh stepped in and stopped them from fighting, which at first I said family feud. He didn't want them to fight and to keep a good connection relationship, which at no part of my recanting or taking that. Yet I thought, what if there was or is something else that Yahweh was wanting to do with Rehoboam? Of course, Jesus comes through the tribe of Judah, the line of the tribe of Judah. So he comes through that tribe. But it made me think about Job. If something would have happened to if something would have happened to Job, then who else would the Lord have told Satan, have you considered devouring or testing my servant Job? All of that just to say God can and will change not only the heart or the decision of someone else, but even your heart when you have a decision or you set yourself on a course of action that you absolutely feel like you want to do or must do, so this way you can regain something back that you feel that you wrongfully lost. He can change it to spare you from something. However, you have to have an ear to hear what he's saying and a heart of obedience to be able to fully understand and stop what you already has set your mind and your heart to do. Whether he speaks directly to you or whether he speaks a word to you through one of his servants. And that's my 12.
My only point for 12 is verses 6 through 11. So I put not only wisdom, but wise counsel. I believe having wisdom is essential, but also is having wise counsel. One without the other is not as significant as having both. There are people that we have in our corner, including one another, which helps us with our decision making. Having wise counsel is good, but also having an ear to hear is quite essential at the same time. Excuse me. We will have people who give us feedback and opinions that is not all that grand for us. We need to know not to listen to them, although we might hear them. Pay attention to your wise counsel, for they are there for a purpose. And that's my chapter 12.
See, I went right this time.
You said wise counsel, which is in my title as well. So I just, hey.
Nobody? All right. So my first point for 12 is your time will come. I honestly skipped over this, and it was while writing what would have been my first point that I recognized it. See, Solomon had went astray, and so God said that the kingdom will be ripped from him and given to Jeroboam. Well, Jeroboam was frightened and so ran to Egypt and dwelt while Solomon was alive. Now, Solomon has passed, and instead of walking into what you have already been prophetically told was yours, you got to walk into that promise as a servant instead of the inherited king. For verses 2 through 4 talk about this exact thing. Jeroboam and all of Israel go before Rehoboam and are asking him to lighten the load from which was heavy from his father Solomon. Ain't this about something? Where I'm supposed to be the one that people are coming to, I'm supposed to be the one deciding on matters of the people. I'm supposed to be the ruler, not asking for permission. And instead, I'm as a servant with Israel asking rather than making decrees. Understand that if it was promised, it's on its way. It may not look like you going to get what he's spoken, but as long as he said it, it's as good as done. Your time is surely to come. No need to pout and fret and walk around angry. No need to spread lies and rumors trying to cut anyone off from the knees, because they will be cut off on their own. If someone is occupying what God has told you is yours, their vacating will happen so that you can possess it. My next point is lead by example. I thought, wow, Rehoboam is on to something here. The people came asking a thing, and Rehoboam responded by going to seek counsel. So he asked the men which were around as his father ruled what he should do. And they told him in verse 7, if you would be a servant today to these people, then you will serve them. And if you answer them and speak good words to them, they will always be your servants. Well, he didn't agree with that, and so went to the youngsters who were like him and took their advice. See, Rehoboam failed to understand, and what we must understand as kings and leaders, that we should lead by example. See, the elders told the king that he should serve the people and be a servant unto them, and he was not having that. He felt, I'm a king, and so why should I serve them? Don't let your title drive you away from the throne. See, the elders was warning him that although you're a king, what good would that be without people to run it? Now I get an understanding of why, although Jeroboam was promised the throne, he had to go before Rehoboam as a servant. As if God was saying, before I let you walk into the throne, you must understand the field. This way, when you possess the throne, you have compassion for those in the field. I know they is not doing that. Okay, I can just do it. This way, when you possess the throne, you have. Oh my God. This way, when you possess the throne, you have compassion for those in the field. See, even for us whom are kings and leaders, in a book dealing with kings, we must understand that to be effective and godly leaders, we ought to serve and lead as well. Just because we're kings mean not that serving is over. And notice he went to those who were like him. We don't need to seek only those who are like-minded individuals who will only agree and speak according to our will. It is by this that I'm even more assured and confirmed that God brought us together for a greater purpose. And I just put especially that one day at the house with Hop. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Hop. My next point is hard pill to swallow. Many times we will look at a situation and or issue and feel like it is merely disrespect. That feeling of disrespect will lead to having to deal with an individual because as men, respect is everything. So as we read in verse 21, Rehoboam is setting up his armies and preparing to go to war with Israel. He feels disrespected in that they stoned his man and took his throne. Many of us would respond the same way as if it was us, never looking at our actions, only seeing the people's response. Yet verses 22 through 24 tell us basically that you bet not go out there because what was done was by God. You looking to fight, but your issue is not with the people. It's with the only wise God. They didn't take it from you because it's not theirs to take. I took it, and because you were never to have it in the first place. Besides, it's your own actions that made it even easier to strip from you anyway. This, my friend, is a hard pill to swallow. It's easy to gear up for battle and prepare for war when someone has wronged us or attacked and unleaded an assault on what's ours. However, what do you do when you are that someone? Better yet, what do you do when God is who took it? See, sometimes we just got to examine ourselves on the matter. Look and say, you killed my people, and so it's right I respond. Some would say, that's my throne and I'm taking it back. Few will look and say, what did I do to lose it? Why? What did I do to make God remove it? You gearing up to fight and creator you're going against, and you don't even realize it. Sometimes it's not others against you per se, but God moving on a given situation. Don't be so angry at the individual, but rather look in the mirror. And my last point is fear will cripple you. It's amazing how you will hear things as a child, and it's not till you get older that the same nail that has been hit on with that hammer over and over will finally sink right through the wood. I've heard that saying, if you let fear grip you, the enemy will whip you thousands of times. It's been said and repeated and said some more, but it's now that it truly makes sense. And I can recognize it when studying. It immediately caught my eye when reading the end of the chapter. Jeroboam being afraid that the people would end up back to Rehoboam. And so he created golden calves so they don't have to go around Rehoboam. See, the problem is he let fear that should not have even been a problem arise in his own life. See, for me, why fear? You're not the one who put you on the throne. So why worry about someone taking you off. If anything, make your concern known to God and continue on. We spend too much time concerned with what man might do when man is not operating the strings of life. This makes me wonder about fear itself and how it might be a moving thing. How did that fear enter him anyway, when you've already known that God called you to such a thing anyway? You've seen Rehoboam flee in terror, and the people crowned you as your rightful position. Yet it seems to fear that this fear was out lurking and seeking and waiting for the opportunity to rest itself upon Jeroboam and cripple him in his authority. You created false gods and fear when you had the God on your side. Do you not know, as long as Yahweh stands beside you and before you and around you, nothing can hinder or defeat you? Stand still and see, not sit back and wonder. And that's my 12.
Something you said reminded me of what Eddie used to tell us in EJM a lot, which it definitely fits here. The higher you go, the lower you go. When you said as far as him being the king and being a servant to the people, he was like, nah. The higher up that you move, I guess within rank or whatever the case may be, the lower you should be willing to go serving wise. So it should never get to the point of, I'm this person, I'm not going to serve. The more you move up in leadership or kingship or whatever the case, you should the greater and the larger on the platform of what you should be willing to serve. So when you said that, I was like, yo, I get it. That makes sense.
All right. All right, so my point for chapter 12 is New King. Chapter 12 introduces a new reign for the next line of kings. Chapter 1 through 12, we study the end of King David. Oh, yeah, chapter 1 through 12, we study